We are moving from AI that simply talks to AI that actually acts. But before you panic about your job, let's talk about onions, because right now we're sitting on the edge of a massive technological shift, and honestly, it's completely misunderstood. Today, we're breaking down the end of passive chatbots and the rise of AI agents. And by the end of this, you're going to see why this isn't a threat to your livelihood, but rather the absolute biggest upgrade to your workflow you could possibly imagine. So, think back to the early days of AI, which, crazily enough, was just a few years ago. Tools like ChatGPT were essentially calculators for words. You ask a question, it gives an answer, and then it just stops. It waits for you. Chatbots are essentially static advisors, but contrast that with the future we're entering right now. AI agents. You need to think of an AI agent not as a passive advisor, but as a hyper-proactive intern. Instead of just answering a prompt with a block of text, an agent actually goes out and acts. The core difference really boils down to three words: AI with hands. An AI agent is an intelligence that can log into your applications, plan out a sequence of tasks, and execute actions across multiple platforms. And it does all of this without you having to hold its hand every step of the way. It is no longer just generating text, right? It is generating action. Okay, let's look at what this means in the real world. Imagine you decide you want to host a dinner party this Friday. A traditional chatbot gives you a list of recipes and calls it a day. An AI agent actually does the work. Step 1, it finds the recipes and plans the menu. Step 2, it automatically logs into your Instacart and fills your cart with the exact groceries you need. Step 3, it opens up your email, drafts the calendar invites to your friends, and just waits for your final approval to hit send. It jumps across your entire digital life to complete a complex goal. Section 2. The limits of agents. The kitchen analogy. Now, hearing all that, you might be thinking, well, if this thing can do all that, aren't we humans completely obsolete? To ground the hype here, we need to step inside a busy restaurant kitchen. In any high-end restaurant, you've got a very strict hierarchy. The head chef, the human, is in charge of the overarching vision. They're tasting the sauces, setting the vibe, and making sure the customers are actually happy. But the prep cooks? Those are your AI agents. They are undeniably incredible at raw execution. They can chop onions and wash produce faster than any human alive. But here is the catch. If you leave those prep cooks totally alone without a head chef, they will just keep chopping onions until the room is literally filled with onions. Seriously, picture a mountain of diced onions just spilling out the kitchen doors. Because AI agents are just prep cooks. They don't know why they are chopping. They don't know if those onions even belong in tonight's soup. They are just executing a task blindly. And this highlights exactly what AI agents lack. They have zero common sense. They have zero personal taste. They completely lack overall vision. And they absolutely cannot handle unexpected human issues. Like, if a customer complains about a cold steak, what is the prep cook going to do? Nothing. They require human direction. Without the head chef, the AI prep cook is just a very, very fast machine making a huge mess. Section 3. The automation job myth. Look at the 1970s. Understanding this total lack of vision busts the biggest myth surrounding AI, the panic of mass unemployment. To see why, we just need to look at historical data. In the 1970s, the ATM was invented, and people panicked. They thought human bank tellers were going to disappear overnight. But look at what actually happened. By the 1980s, ATMs made it so much cheaper to run a bank branch. And because it was cheaper in the 1990s, banks opened way more branches. So by the 2000s, there were actually more human tellers employed than before the ATM even existed. When automation makes tasks cheaper, the demand for human oversight and creativity actually skyrockets. And this is exactly what AI agents are going to do to your daily life. They are going to take the boring, tedious admin work, the formatting of spreadsheets, the answering of basic emails, the endless scheduling of meetings, basically the robotic parts of your job. And by outsourcing that tedious stuff, you unlock high-value human work. You suddenly have the time and the energy to focus on creative strategy, critical thinking, and complex human relationships. You finally get to focus on the work that actually matters. Section 4. Humans multiplied by AI. This is exactly how you need to think about the next 5 years of your career. The future isn't humans versus AI. It's humans multiplied by AI. These agents, they aren't showing up to take your job. They're showing up to be your incredibly fast prep cooks, your tireless interns. They're incredible tools designed to scale your unique human potential, your taste, and your vision. So I want to leave you with a question, and I would love for you to drop your answer in the comments. What is the single most boring part of your job that you would gladly hand over to an AI agent tomorrow? Think about that one tedious task you dread every single week. Now imagine never having to do it again. That is the future we're heading toward. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.